Good evening. Thank you for joining us for 2 News Oklahoma at 5 o'clock. I'm Erin Christie. We are live outside on Brookside for, of course, the big story of the day, which is the snowfall across Green Country. We have crews spread out across Green Country, bringing you live coverage. Some of the hardest hit areas so far, Pittsburg and Okmulgee counties. We have crews there. We're going to be talking about the road closures and the school cancellations, all in just a moment. But first, we want to send it over to Chief Meteorologist Michael Sager in the Weather Center. We've been talking about this storm system all week, Michael, and it is finally here.
Yeah, it certainly is. We've been watching that snow move in as we've gone throughout the day, affecting those in southern portions of the region as early as this morning. And then we've been watching that snow spread to the north. Now, the amounts have certainly been heavier to the south so far, but we do have winter storm warnings that are in effect up to I-44, including the Tulsa Metro winter weather advisories as you head farther to the north and the west. And the snowfall amounts certainly going to be looking a little higher than what we were originally thinking earlier in the week, as we've seen a trend to the north during the overnight hours and into this morning. Here's what it looks like right now with our storm system. You can see the snow across a large chunk here of Oklahoma, and that steady snow will continue through the evening and into the overnight. It may taper off a little bit at times and then pick back up, but overall the general trend is that the snow will continue through the overnight and into early this morning. You can see here some of the banding that we're getting. That's very common with snow, where you get some of these pockets here, some heavier bands, and then a little bit of lighter snow right now in Tulsa itself. Farther to the north, so far most of this has stayed fairly light, but seeing a little bit more in the way of some moderate snow beginning to move in here, parts of Nowata County into Osage as well. And then farther to the south, you can see the snow coming down here. In fact, I put some of the snowfall reports on here. Just had a report come in just a little after 4:30 of now 6 inches of snow around McAllister already. And as we head through the overnight hours, again, that snow is going to continue. Again, the road conditions will only get worse. They haven't been as bad to the north as what we're seeing to the south, but we fully expect treacherous road conditions into tomorrow morning before the snow finally tapers off. We're going to look at the amounts that we expect and what we can expect into the weekend when we finally have a chance to thaw out in about 2 more minutes.
Thank you, Michael. And as Michael just mentioned, it is those areas to our south that will see the largest amounts of snowfall into the evening hours and the overnight hours as well. So we sent 2 News Oklahoma's Brody Myers to McAllister. Brody, what's it look like out there?
Aaron, I've lived in Oklahoma my whole life. This probably ranks in the top 5 of snowfalls that I've seen. It is just really coming down. Has been. We got here about noon or so, and really has been coming down pretty hard. A big, thick, wet snow. Something I kind of judge precipitation by is a camera. If you pull out your iPhone camera, can you see it coming down really easily? In this case, yes. Big, heavy, wet snowflakes coming down. The city hall is closed until 10 a.m. tomorrow at least. That's from the Facebook page. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Trash routes not running today. Not many cars at all, let alone a big old trash truck running around town today. The crews are out working on the roads as best they can, but they're just asking people just to stay home. It's probably a lot easier than getting out in this. What I can tell you from some firsthand experience, the main roads in town are halfway decent, maybe more the neighborhood roads. Something to avoid there. As far as warming shelters, always top of mind in a snow event like this. The All Saints Episcopal Church. It's open until 10 a.m. on Saturday as a warming shelter. Also, there's an all-women's shelter called Hope House. It's over on 1210 East Cherokee. They're also having some warming stations open. So now I'm going to send it over to Naomi Kitt. She is in Muskogee with the tools the city has to keep drivers safe.
Brody, within just the last 15 minutes, we've really seen this snow start to pick up in Muskogee, and it's the reason that they started pre-treating these roads yesterday and early this morning. I'm on York Street near Chandler, and I want you to take a look behind me. You can see the number of cars that are out here this afternoon. This is a main feeder road into town. It's one of the reasons the city is paying special attention to it. We've seen a lot of drivers out here so far, and we will continue to see them throughout the evening. The roads do look good for the most part. I did learn that the city has a number of tools on hand, including 4 spreaders, 2 brine applicator trucks, and 3 snow plows to treat the roads. I want you to take a look at some of the video that we were able to get in downtown Muskogee earlier this afternoon. We saw people getting snow off of their cars, walking the sidewalks. The assistant public works director told me for this type of weather, it's all hands on deck for his team.
When we get weather like this, we put everybody to doing something winter weather related. to make sure that our citizens can get around safe and travel safe. We encourage them to stay home unless absolutely necessary, but if they do have to get out, we want our roads to be in the best condition as possible.
And again, we are seeing a lot of those drivers out and about here in Muskogee this afternoon. We did learn that ODOT maintains a number of roads in this area, including 69 Highway. We're going to go check that out in just a few minutes. First, though, 2 News Oklahoma's Kathy Tatum is live for us in Tulsa tonight, actually checking out a wreck that happened with a bus there. Kathy?
Naomi, it's a wreck that involved a school bus and a sedan. Fortunately, we're told none of the 7 children on the bus nor the driver of the sedan were hurt. We're trying to get some more information right now. Police are saying that they're still investigating what happened here at the corner of Memorial and Admiral. As soon as we have more information, we'll be bringing it to you. But fortunately, it looks like this scene is about to clear. It just happened 20 minutes ago, and I'm sure these kids want to get home. Aaron?
Certainly so. Thank you, Kathy. And at 2 o'clock this morning, Tulsa City crews were already out while we were sleeping. They were putting out the brine, getting ready for this storm on the bridges, the overpasses, and the hills. And once the snow started falling mid-morning, that's when they started laying the salt down on those streets. This is a process that they get ready for back in the fall. The employees go through some ice training in October. And then a lot of them came in early today for a refresher. They got the snow plows out and went and ran their routes to get a feel of the roads. Street maintenance manager Tim McCorkle said it really takes multiple divisions from the Parks Department, traffic, and others to keep these roads safe.
We'll be going into 12-hour shifts around the clock, and it could take a total of about 210 employees to make this work once you have your office staff, management, mechanics, and the workers out in the vehicles.
And McCorkle reminds drivers, if you are out and about and you see one of their crews, try to stay about 150 to 200 feet away from them to better allow them to do their job and keep us safe. And all of that preparation being put to the test right now. We want to send it out to 2 News Oklahoma's Samson Tamajani. He's out in Broken Arrow. Samson, how are the conditions out there?
Well, it is just as cold and snowy here as it is probably where you are, Aaron. But you know what? BA is ready for it, and they are enjoying it. Take a look behind me. Here is the view of Main Street here in downtown Broken Arrow. You see in the last 20 minutes, really a lot more snow starting to stick, but the city has been treating them since yesterday leading up to today. You see out in the distance, you see another duo of snow plows and treatment trucks from the city. But, you know, folks I've talked with have been really making the most of this occasion all day in their own way.
We didn't really prepare. We were just kind of working from home today.
Looked out the window, saw snow. He looked sad, out. So we wanted him to have some fun.
Yeah. So we just took him outside for a little break from work.
A snow day inside. But tonight we're going to go watch her sister perform at the Broken Arrow Performing Arts Center with Courtyard Theater Productions. They're putting on Willy Wonka Jr. tonight.
Oh, wow. That's not canceled.
Not canceled. The show must go on.
And the city of Broken Arrow is making sure the roads are literally paving the way for that, as you can probably tell in the background of me talking right now. Its Facebook page posting it as men and women in the streets department working 12-hour shifts treating the roads with 2,400 tons of salt and 10,000 gallons of brine. Other than that, the city of Broken Arrow local government announcing earlier today they're sending all their non-emergency workers home. And just in the last half hour, Broken Arrow Public Schools announced they are joining the long list of school districts closing. They will also be closed tomorrow in a true school day, no distance learning or any of that. That's the update we have right now, Aaron.
All right. Thank you, Samson. And of course, not just the roads being impacted by this snowfall. A lot of problems up in the air. Tulsa International saying that they've already canceled about 24 flights today because of the snow. That's according to FlightAware. Along with that, nearly 20 flights have dealt with delays either into or out of the airport. And a big factor impacting flights all over, winter weather at Dallas-Fort Worth. Already over 1,000 flights have been canceled there. Of course, that is a a major connector for people traveling, especially in parts of Oklahoma. And the news that all the kids want to hear about, school cancellations, they are coming in minute to minute. I know Samson just mentioned Broken Arrow coming in late this afternoon. Some of them are doing distance learning. Some of them are closed tomorrow. Tulsa Public Schools is closed tomorrow. McAllister, Tahlequah, and Stigler Public Schools. The Wagner County Courthouse is closed. We have a list of closures on our website at kjrh.com. And we have more team coverage of this winter storm coming up after the break. We have Isabel Flores out in Okmulgee County and Chief Meteorologist Michael Sager's full forecast. Stay with us.
Your first forecast, sponsored by Burgraff Disaster Restoration.
Welcome back to 2 News Oklahoma at 5. We are live on Brookside covering team coverage of the winter storm tonight. And one of the hardest hit areas, Okmulgee County, we want to send it out to 2 News Oklahoma's Isabel Flores. She's in Henrietta. Isabel, is the snow hitting your eyeballs like it is mine out here?
Yes, it is, Aaron. You know what? It's crazy out here, and I don't know how many inches of snow we've gotten, but I can definitely sink into it. My feet and my hands are slowly turning into icicles, and we aren't even really getting that huge of a hit right now. It's kind of more of a flurry. And if you can see behind me, you know, these roads, they're not as bad as they were this morning when we were coming into Henrietta. I mean, this morning it was just a different story. So we were driving into Henrietta. I mean, roads were covered with snow and slush, making it harder for people to drive on. We passed by several collisions and even an accident involving a turned over vehicle. And I spoke with a local resident who tells me that it can be scary. It can be a very scary experience getting on the road in these conditions.
I actually love it. It's actually very beautiful, and it's like nature. It's very beautiful. But driving in it, it's horrible. Yeah, a lot of people have never got the chance to drive in it or anything like that. And a lot of times it's the first experience.
Orlando has lived here his whole life, but tells me the snow doesn't seem to be stopping people from getting to where they need to be, which is good and bad. Some businesses like the coffee shop I'm actually standing right in front of did close early because of this weather. And I did speak to the emergency management director, who tells me that some schools also went virtual to make sure that they could stay safe during the weather. And he also says that there has been an increase in car collisions on streets and roads because of slick spots. And so we'll hear more from him coming up, and we will keep you updated on the weather. In Henrietta, I'm Isabel Flores with 2 News Oklahoma.